So, Ramon, according to some lefty snowflakes, a Kevin, if you will, from the Western Cape, we're full of cack because we said that coal stations in South Africa are being shut down. And we were fact checked on that because no, Ramon, that's not true. It's the Green Agenda stuff. Well, the energy minister had this to say.
Point of when you are in the international community engaging with the international investors, they say, but you are still with this problem, but you are not showing the kind of determination to resolve it. If I had my way, we'll go and restart the units at the Komati. We closed a power station which was the best performing power station at the time that we closed it. And because someone gave us money and said decarbonize, we are getting 270 megawatts of intermittent energy. We remove 1,000 megawatts. And then the jobs, we've displaced the jobs there. I told the relationship is 1:3. So a third of what were the jobs that were created at the mines outside the value chain, the people who were fixing the yellow plant, the people who were working at the mines, the people, the mamas who were selling by the roadside, for those chaps who are working in the mines at the power station. So go to Komati is a ghost town. And then you say, no, let's have this conversation. Because what we're a guinea pig, something is unfolding there. Of course, this one is, I'm stating things that are going against what is the official position of government, but I'll surface them. The truth must be told of an injustice that is unfolding in Komati in the name of the transition. And part of that just transition is the democratization of this conversation. The people of Komati only knew later that this power station is being closed. I'm short of 1,000 megawatts. It should be reducing one stage of load shedding. Businesses should be thriving. And yes, no, we've got international obligations. I'm sorry. We've got an obligation to the South African people.
So what you see here, ladies and gentlemen, is actually very, very interesting. So the Minister of Electricity, Sputla, Ramagopa, is someone that we don't really care about or think about in any material way. But this clip is the most interesting thing we've seen from him. He talks about a government policy doing X, and if he had the power, he would go against the government policy and do Y. Because he understands the fundamentals. Coal is king for South Africa. Komati, which was one of the best coal stations, was shut down to refurbish it to make it green. And by doing all of that, it destroyed the local economy of the power station. And then he talks about sovereignty. ANC is becoming based once again.
So we had this to say when we talked about the whole coal power stations. That was, South Africa was experiencing a difficult time because we couldn't go all in on our coal because of the 1% global emissions that we contribute to the world's CO2 gas. But apparently, our 1% is so bad that we should all suffer significant stages of load shedding in the form of taking all of our existing power stations offline. Anybody want to hazard a guess how much all this green agenda has cost us so far? If we all went back in time and we all signed up to Jacob's plan, we would actually be economically better off right now. And if you look at the reason for a lot of this, it all comes back to the same point. We seem to be killing our existing fleet because of 1% carbon footprint. 1%, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in.
Well, let this sink in. Russia and Ukraine are firing patriotic missiles at each other. But we need to decarbonize our economy. I mean, come on. This is clown world 101. But going back to what the minister said, Komati Power Station was actually mothballed in the 80s because South Africa had excess electricity. Remember those good times, Byron? I'm not saying apartheid was good, but we had excess electricity. So we had to actually shut down power stations. Komati was working perfectly fine. It has the capacity to provide 1,000 megawatts, which is one stage of load shedding, as the minister said. And apparently, due to the lifespan of the coal station, it has been shut down only because of the lifespan, not because it was broken, not because of anything else. It was a policy decision to turn it off, and now they're going to refurbish it with batteries and solar panels and all that cuck. But the minister makes a very, very, very important point. Energy in South Africa is not just about the production of energy. It's about the entire supply chain of energy that holds this country together. The mines, the transport companies, as the minister says, the gogos selling stuff on the side of the road for the people in the mines, for the people in the power station. And the just energy transition is destroying that entire supply chain from the poorest people on the ground to the managers of the power station. And for the ANC, or someone in the ANC to understand that, is a breath of fresh air, for me at least.
So, if we forget that this power station that we are referring to could have actually been extended, their lifespan could have been extended. So, why didn't it get extended? Well, because it was environmentally unfriendly, and so we needed to have green energy because the planet and stuff. As we don't renew these things and actually run base capacity to what we had before, we are constraining the grid. The constraints on the grid is leading to economic degradation. The economic degradation is having an impact on people's lives. People get unemployed, they get unhappy, it causes social unrest, which causes numerous other instances. All this for a green agenda that frankly we don't need. Because remember, it's 1% of global emissions.
So, what can we deduce from the ANC's issue with load shedding and how to solve it? Number one, ANC, just find your balls and tell the NGOs to fuck themselves. Really. The green agenda serves no purpose in South Africa other than enriching a few elites, unfortunately, many of which are in the ANC itself. But number two, when the Minister of Electricity talks about sovereignty and energy independence, that is the crucial question to ask for any policy in South Africa ever. Does this policy make South Africa more sovereign? Does it make it more independent? Does it make it a better country for the citizens of the country? If the answer to any of those questions is no, you don't pursue that policy. So therefore, let's make the Minister of Electricity the president, because he actually knows what's going on. And he will gladly go against government policy, which is funded and fueled by NGOs anyway, and actually make South Africa great. That's my suggestion.
So let us know what you think below. Should we allow the energy minister to come in here and tell all the foreign NGOs to Futzak? And should we allow our existing coal fleet to be running at operational status? Should we just go all back in on coal so that we can eliminate load shedding and grow our economy and say, screw you, foreign West, we're only 1% of the problem anyway? Can you just go stop farting in your own countries and maybe that will reduce carbon emissions? Let us know in the comment section below.